Congratulations, young lady. Take a bow. Victoria Mboko makes her first main tour final. As always, this coverage is brought to you via the Doctrine of Fair Use, the Fair Dealing, and the Digital Millennium Act. She came up big, ladies and gentlemen, down a set to Slam champion Elena Rybakina. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, this makes the third Slam champion Victoria has defeated this week. And no, not 3 times, but 4 times will actually be the charm. These Canadian fans, amazing today. That's right, guys. They really supported Victoria. She dropped the first set, and it looked like she was down and out during the second set at times. But she just stood on faith and backed by her big forehand. Victoria's big time, guys. If you're not familiar with her, listen. She has been tearing up the ITF scene. She is going to be a top 50 player, win or lose. And despite 11 double faults, how do you come back and defeat Elena Rybakina, one of the best servers we've ever seen? Well, she did it by winning 57% of her first serves, as Elena Rybakina only won 56% of her first serves. That's right, guys. She was clutch. 6 for 10 on breakpoint conversions. Hugs to the team. And listen, guys, look at that. Unbelievable, guys. These Canadian fans really got behind Victoria this week. And as I stated, watch out for Victoria. She's going to make the final. You defeat Coco Gauff, you're definitely going to make the final. And let me remind you guys, big game Sofia Kenin, Buskova, Burrell in the first round, Coco in the round of 16, Bouzas Monero in the quarterfinal, and Elena Rybakina. Beautiful handshake at the net. Now, she would say in her post-match interview, she's so tired. And I talked about her fatigue a little bit. Look, she's young. She's now literally playing the best in the world. She's stepped up to the main tour. The matches are a lot faster, longer, grueling. She's got to make that adjustment, but she's doing so very, very good, right? She also talked about how Elena Rybakina is just so good and so tough and so strong. But take a bow because you beat her. Who's she going to take on in the championship match? None other than Kanishiwa Naomi Osaka, who looks amazing as well, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, Osaka. Listen, guys, she's on a 6-match win streak. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Arsenal in the first round, Ludmila in the second round, Ostapenko in the third round, Sevastova in the round of 16s, Svitolina yesterday in the quarterfinal, and a rematch of Auckland where Osaka had to retire with Patrick, right, as her coach. Ribbed some type of abdominal injury, right? She had the championship won. She won the first set. But like I said, Osaka, very, very classy, a lot of integrity. I don't think she cares about championships other than slams. But this match here, guys, as she defeats Clara Tauson, again, ladies and gentlemen, this match coming up with Victoria Mboko is going to be huge. Now, this match with Tauson, how did Osaka get it done? Just beautiful ball striking. 75% of her first serves won. 60% of Tauson's second serve. Very consistent on the break points, 4 for 5, while saving 80% of the opportunities that Tauson had. Tauson had 9 opportunities to break. Osaka saved 7 of them. Now, Osaka's footwork. Remember I had that rant, I don't know, 2.5 weeks ago, talking about Osaka and her footwork, right? I talked about how if Osaka's going to get back to where we want her to be, to where she should be, a top 5 player in the world, winning slams, winning big titles, it's got to be the footwork. I talked about her athletic ability and how not only is she struggling mentally, but just the footwork doesn't seem there, right? I talked about how when you talk about most athletic players with the best footwork, Osaka's names, you don't think of her in the top 10 or even the top 20. Well, the way she's playing in Montreal, She's a top 5 player. She's moving her legs. When have you seen Osaka cover ground on the court like this? You have not. Have you guys watched the matches? She is moving all around, front, back, side to side, like a new TikTok dance move or something. She is covering ground. Factor in her amazing serve, her big, powerful first serve when she needs an ace or a point. She can get it off of her serve. Talk about the rallies where she's stretching the court. She's coming cross court, mid court. She's going deep in the corners with the forehand. She's mixing in the backhand. She's not beating herself and she's not making mistakes. Osaka's a very clean technical ball striker. When you factor in the serving and the footwork, she's defending. Who's going to beat her? I don't see anyone on tour that can beat her. However, this championship match that's coming up with Victoria Mboko, I think the championship might, look, which Osaka is going to show up. I think this championship might mean more to Tomas. Very impressive. Very impressive. He's on trial, right? Very impressive run here. He wants to win this title for sure. But the question is, does Osaka want to win it? Right now, Osaka historically has done well at the Western and Southern Open. That's up next. If she wins this tournament, I think she plays the Western and Southern Open, right? I absolutely think so, because headed into the U.S. Open, she already warned you. Osaka already warned you and told you she's a hard court baby. She'll see you on the hard court. She's not playing around. Now, this matchup with Victoria, for the most part, guys, footwork is going to be the key for Victoria. That's going to keep her in these rallies. She's going to have to hustle. She's very powerful. She's got a very powerful forehand. We talked about earlier in her matches when she's cracking that forehand. It's just the sound in the stadium. It just echoes the way she just smashes the ball. However, the power edge is going to go to Osaka. The ball striking is going to go to Osaka. The tennis IQ, the strategy, all that coaching, all of that is going to go to Osaka. The key is going to be the footwork. Victoria is going to have to hustle. Now, the problem with this matchup is I do think, even though Victoria is a younger player, their games are very comparable. They're very, very similar. But Victoria is left-handed. I do think Osaka, though, she's going to, if she wants to win this championship, she will. Now, if I were an expert and I had to give you odds on this, check the community, the odds to win it. Of course, we know Elena Rybakina was the favorite of the last 4. She's out. However, I think if Osaka played Elena Rybakina, she would beat her. She would have beat her as well. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. However, if I were an expert, I would probably make Osaka not quite a 2-1 favorite, just under, maybe about, I don't know, maybe about 180, right? But if you really take a look at, because a lot of this, if you take a look at the ranking, Osaka's, not the live rankings, but entering this tournament, she's ranked 49th, Victoria 85th. Now, Osaka overall, guys, we all know 4-time slam champion, very accomplished. She's defeated Serena Williams multiple times in big-time matches, right? We all know if she wants to win this title, if she plays how she's capable, she should win this title. But which Osaka will show up? Will it be the Osaka that's just considerate and just doesn't want to hurt this 18-year-old, this young teenager, Victoria's got to be 19 now, who doesn't want to just hurt this young girl's feelings and crush her on the biggest stage of her career? She's still 18. She's going to be 19 towards the end of this month. Who knows? We'll see. But overall, guys, I do think Osaka should win this title. It's hers to lose. Victoria is a great young player. I do think she will win a slam one day. But from A to Z, Osaka is just too good. I think the X factor for Victoria is going to be moving her feet. If she can make this match messy, sloppy, get balls back, and what I mean by that is just cutting off the distance for Osaka to return, right? If she can get to these balls, hit her forehand down the line, return short balls, get Osaka moving, even though she's moving very, very well. But she's got to cut off the short and make these rallies very, very short, and just where Osaka has to scramble and hustle points, shortening the distance for her rockets and depth, stretching the court. I think if Victoria can do that, she can win points, she can win service games, and she can make it messy and frustrating for Osaka. However, if Osaka can stretch the court, serve well, and just get to her power, it's going to get Victoria on the back foot a lot to where she's going to make mistakes. Is fatigue going to be an issue? I don't think fatigue is going to be an issue. She's young. She'll have time to recover, but she has played a lot of tennis, the most tennis she's played in her short career. That was a grueling match with Elena, and she did say she's very, very tired. I talked about her stamina early on, but it's really just about her coming from the ITF, not playing these long, grueling matches, not playing these strong professionals that she's used to. She's not getting that on the ITF. But however, guys, she is capable. She belongs here. She's very talented, and she's very good. But the Osaka that we've seen this week, Clara Tauson, Svitolina destroyed her. Victoria's not the shot maker of Svitolina, but she does have the power. But on the other side of things, I do give the power edge to Osaka. And if she can just stretch the court, use her range, it's going to back up Victoria enough to make just enough mistakes. Now, if we go back to that match with Coco on clay, Coco really extended the rallies. And even a player like Buskova, who won a set off of Victoria earlier this week, just stretching the court, extending the rallies, one more ball in play, just making Victoria have to second guess and make mistakes. And I do see Osaka playing that type of tennis. She's playing a lot longer rallies, and she's being more patient. That's really the key with Osaka during this win streak. She's taking her time, being patient, allowing herself to hit the winners and make the smart decisions. If she does that with Victoria, I don't see how Victoria can beat her. But again, we're in Canada. Anything's possible, guys. Tennis in a minute. I think Osaka wins it. But remember I said, the two ladies that will make the final, Victoria and Osaka, they're here. I did say Osaka will win this tournament, and I think she should. Tennis in a minute. We'll see you guys soon. Enjoy Coco Gauff, McCartney, Kessler, champions on the double side. And look, the schedule is a bit off, guys. We're used to championship weekends, Sunday or Saturday. It's a little weird getting a championship here midweek, especially with Cincinnati going on. We did have rain, but overall, I would say it's definitely a better Montreal tournament than last time. And it's good to see these two ladies in the final. We'll be back, guys.